Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the sixth grade concept of one variable equations and inequalities. This is standard 6.10a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 5 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have an equation. We need to find a solution to this equation, and it's going to involve an 8 somehow, because those are my four answer choices, -8, +8, and then positive and negative 1/8. So let's draw this as kind of a balance, right? So way back in the first grade, we learned that equations, right, are like balances. And so you need to have that equal sign kind of keeps both sides or both buckets of equal value. So that's what we want to see here, okay? So what do I have on one side? Well, on one side, I've got 48. So this 48 is going to be equal, or is going to be totally balanced with, I've got 8x. Now, rather than writing 8x, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write 8x's, because that's what that 8x represents. 8x means 8 times x, which means there are literally 8 x's, okay? But it's not just 8x. Now, before I can say it's balanced, I need to take away 2x. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll change to a different color. I'm just going to kind of cross through that. So here's my minus 2x. Okay, so now what do I have left? Well, if I have this equation here, I have 8x minus 2x. What do I have left? Well, what I have left is 6x. Okay, so now I can say 6x equals 48. Okay, and what this is called, combining like terms. So you have three different terms in this problem. You've got an 8x, a 2x, and a 48. Okay, this is what we call a constant because there's no variable. There's no x, there's no y, there's no z. It's just a plain number. And then these two, right, are variables, 8x and 2x, and they have the same variable. They have the same x. If one of these was a y, one of these was a z, you couldn't combine them. But since you have a positive 8x and a negative 2x, they're both x's, right? These are like terms, and so you can combine them. And so now we have a simpler problem. Instead of saying 8x minus 2x, we can simply say 6x equals 48, because that's what happens when you have 8 x's and you take away 2 of them. Now, we need to figure out what do each of these x's represent, okay? So hopefully we're thinking, well, 6 times something, right? So 6 times, and I'm going to replace the x with like a mystery number like we would see in the elementary school. It's going to make 48, and hopefully at this point we are thinking of our multiplication fact. 6 times what makes 48? And if this helps, we can write it as division problems. 48 divided by 6 is going to equal x, or that mystery number. And so if we skip counting by 6's, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. There's 8 of them. All right, so I'm thinking it's going to be 8. To verify, let's go all the way back to the beginning. And let's put it in here. 8. I'm going to replace each x with 8. Minus 2 times 8 equals 48. Right? This is called substitution. This is how we can check our work. You take what you think is the answer, and you just plug it back in. And the 2 and the x next to each other means multiplication. So 8 times 8 is 64. And then 2 times 8 is going to be 16. That's 48. I'm going to need to do that vertically just to verify. 16. So regroup there. 5. That's going to be 14 minus 6 is 8. Hey, look at that. We get 48 equals 48. So we combined our like terms of 8x minus 2x. Became pretty simple. Our answer here is C.